What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the Street Reporter, and a lot of people always asking me about TOOKA. That's another name I'm always asked about. To be honest, I think we kind of need to bury that whole situation and let that young man kind of breathe peacefully, because his name kind of been used as a weapon throughout the drill culture. A lot of people then caught on to it and kind of thought it was like a marijuana strain, so they were using it. A lot of situations where rappers then kind of diss this young man unknowingly. But a lot of people always ask me about him. I'm a street reporter. I've been documenting the culture for a while, because I kind of feel like in the future, people going to look back at this shit and be like, damn, all them young men lost their life like that for real over some rap music shit? When I think it's a little bigger than that. So I wanted to document these events, so in case you did go back, these videos to kind of be the bulletin points for you to look at when you look at this shit. So a lot of people were speaking on TOOKA, so that's the guy we're going to bring to the board today and kind of explain what happened, give you some background on it, and kind of give you my conclusion. And I think after that, we're going to have to kind of like bury this, because I didn't think this moms come on interviews. I didn't think a lot of people saying we need to end that, because this didn't happen a long time ago, and he was just a young man. So we're going to kind of go in the background. When I looked at everything, I remember I didn't had a chance to watch a lot of interviews. A lot of people close to him that talked out and interviewed a lot of people from St. Lawrence. So I kind of feel like I can give you a true, honest opinion on what I believe happened. First, we're going to go with some background. TOOKA was only 15 years old when he lost his life. I think that's the one thing we got to always put here, 15 years old, because a lot of people says, me kind of always felt like, what can a 15-year-old boy really do? Now, I mean, to be honest, out here, 15-year-olds are like grown men out here, and they kind of dabble with things early in this kind of culture. Not saying that he did, but I noticed that he was 15 years old. He was a young man. Another thing that I noticed about him was that he was affiliated with the Gangster Disciples, which are GDs. And that's a set gang members that's well known throughout Chicago. Actually, this set is well known throughout the world. Their leader is like a political street leader, Larry Hoover. So I'm pretty sure we all know about that. Then I noticed he was from a block, an area, a neighborhood that was considered one of the hot spots in Chicago, and that was St. Lawrence. Okay, 63rd. I noticed that. That was the second thing that I noticed that alarmed me, was that he was a gang member from one of the hardest sets on some Gangster Disciple shit. And a lot of their sets became rappers. A lot of their members kind of blew up on some rap shit and kind of brought an extra light to their neighborhood, okay? That was one of the other things I noticed. Then I noticed he was linked to people who became famous, like Duck, FBG Duck. You know, he was linked to like J-Mane. He was linked to like Brick. He was linked to like K.I. You know, and a few more people, Boss Trail and all kind of shit. And I noticed that he was linked to a lot of people. A few of the people, actually a lot of the people who he was linked to are dead, like K.I., Brick, Duck. Those are all people who were murdered. So I noticed that he was linked to a lot of people who end up getting hunted down and killed, and he was linked to a gang banging set and shit like that. Now, I'm not saying he didn't go to school. I'm not saying he wasn't a good kid, didn't have a jump shot. I'm just telling you what I noticed when I researched the shit, you know. I didn't really see a lot of good, but I'm not trying to knock it, because they probably don't put his good up there. You get what I'm saying? So I want to be honest with that. Another thing that I noticed with TOOKA is he has videos on the internet, and all his videos on the internet show him on some smooth, calm shit. He seemed like a very funny dude. I didn't catch him to be very aggressive, but it is videos on the internet showed him that talked about him being like one of those dudes that was on that bullshit, you know. There's rumors on the street that he was one of those shorties that'll fuck you up. That's what I heard, but I'm not saying it's true. I can't verify that. But I'm not gonna lie, I was told that he was funny, and he also had a street rap. Okay? We gotta be honest. So when I looked at that, I said, okay, even killed, you know? But the one thing I didn't like, though, I'm not gonna lie, after my research, the one thing I didn't like is that he was linked to this here in this neighborhood, and this set here is linked to a lot of street wars, a lot of gang banging, a lot of murders, a lot of dead people, a lot of hoods named after dead peoples and all kind of shit. I noticed that link here, you know? Okay, so we're going to get into what happened. Because a lot of people say he was killed at a bus stop, somebody rolled past and killed him. Actually, he was murdered at a bus stop, but it was actually deeper than that. When I looked into the police reports, I looked into newspaper clippings, the Chicago Sun-Times clipping, CBS local clippings, the Chicago Tribune clippings. I talked to people, and then I come to the fact that I couldn't just go with the witnesses, I couldn't just go with the newspapers, I went with everybody, and this is what happened. TOOKA, his name is Shondell Gregory, okay? He was a 15-year-old boy. He was standing at a bus stop, okay? I believe he was on the 500 block. He was on the 500 block of 63rd Street. He was at the end of his block, basically. He was in his neighborhood, okay? We're going to go neighborhood, okay? And shorten up the board. He was in his neighborhood, okay? He was standing at a bus stop with two other people. Okay? He was standing at a bus stop with two other people. You following me? Okay, so when TOOKA died, it was 3 people at the bus stop. I'm not sure if he knew those other 2 people or those other 2 people knew him, but it was 2 people and him. A gunman walked up, okay? A gunman walked up to TOOKA and those 3 people and those 2 people at that bus stop. According to the police and the police reports, the gunman asked those 2 people, "Is the bus coming?" And those 2 people said, "Yeah, it'll be here soon." And then they say the gunman walked behind the bus shelter. You know that little place there that you can stand in there when it's cold? The gunman walked behind the bus shelter. He pulled out a gun and he shot TOOKA 1 time. Blick! He blicked him 1 time. TOOKA caught it. He staggered. The gunman came from behind the shelter and he shot TOOKA 3 more times in the back. Blick, blick, blick! Blicked him 3 more times. TOOKA fell down on the ground. He murdered him right there. He ran off. He got away. Okay? So we're going to put that down, okay? TOOKA shot 4 times. Died. Okay? For the gunman to walk up to TOOKA, okay? Shoot him 4 times, he died. Ah, damn, what the hell? This shit is amazing, okay? So once I looked at all of this, I noticed that, you know, remember, he a GD, okay? He's from this notorious set of GDs, okay? He had a street rep. He was linked to a lot of these members who died, and I ain't even put up the can't get rights and poppies and all that, okay? I look at how he died. He was at a bus stop in his neighborhood where the ops would be looking for him at. In his neighborhood. He went outside the neighborhood. He was in his neighborhood. At a bus stop, okay? Remember this. He was shot 1 time. Then the gunman came and finished him off with 3 more. Block, block, block. He walked up on some sneaky shit asking, "Is the bus coming?" My conclusion is TOOKA knew the gunman. Okay? TOOKA knew the gunman, okay? He knew the gunman, okay? This was some gang banging shit, alright? This was some straight gang banging shit, okay? This guy was wanted. He was targeted. This wasn't a, somebody must have rolled past and seen this guy at a bus stop, got out the car, and he was targeted for something that he must have did. Now, if it ain't nothing that he didn't did, you know, I hate to say that, and I don't want to put any dirt on him. If it ain't something that he did, then he was targeted for being around people who did something, and they just put him with it. Because you got to remember, when it's on some gang banging shit, it don't matter if you did it or not. If you with him, you going to die with him too. If the ops catch the other op who's a high target and they want to kill him, they're not going to ride to his car and say, "Excuse me, sir, you're sitting in the car with a guy that we want to kill, okay? So I'm going to let you get out and you can run down the street and then we're going to murder him." They're not going to do that, bro. If you in that car, they going to blick that bitch up with you in it. Blick, 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 blick. They gonna blick it up with you in it. They do not care who in the car. If it's a kid in it, they gonna blick the crump snatcher. All right, I'm just telling you how this shit is. They don't have no integrity. It's just the war shit. It's the revenge is stronger than to let the shit go. So when I looked at this shit, I said he knew his gunman. All right, he knew the gunman. It was no secret. He knew exactly who did that. This was some gang banging shit. All right, and everybody in the neighborhood who knows who did this. That beef, this beef, he had a beef, a true internet beef on the internet. This is no secret. He had a true internet beef on the internet with O-Block. We all know this. I'm not saying that they had anything to do with it because I wasn't there. I'm not part of the Facebook police. But I'm going to just tell you, he had a standout internet beef with O-Block, all right? We all know that he had a standout internet beef with these guys right here. But the thing that'll trick you off is he actually had internet beefs with other people, not just them. He had beefs with other people. And then, you know, it's personal shit in the hood, you know? People robbing houses, doing all kind of shit. Anything could have happened. But in my opinion, I don't think anything else happened, okay? In my opinion, I think he died over gangbanging. And I think his ops seen him. They seen him at a bus stop. That bus stop was hot. Okay? This is some gangbanging shit. He was young as hell. In my opinion, that's what happened. And I think that's what everybody believes what happened. I can't tell you who did this to him. I'm not pretty sure. I'm not really sure, but I can tell you one thing that's on the internet. It's a lot of internet stories of O-Block and them killed TOOKA, and 63rd and them killed O.D. Perry, and then they killed K.I., and then they killed Blood Money. Nobody who made those videos were there, okay? I want you guys to always keep that in the back of your head. Nobody was there. I can't give you that information. I'm pretty sure the comment section is going to say who did this and who did that and who did that. I heard the same stories, but I can't just go to the board and tell you that. You know, I only can go to the board with shit that I can verify. You know, now the rest we're going to leave to the comment section. So that's all I can say. I appreciate your love. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Before we get out of here, remember, his mom's had an interview on Drea O. She want people to cut out that TOOKA shit. We know about Chief Keef and invented the TOOKA shit, basically. We understand TOOKA gang was some street shit that was going on in the street. But ever since Chief Keef smoked the TOOKA, he made that shit popular. He got rappers, Fetty Wap, Young Man, them, everybody saying that shit. We got to stop it now and let that young man rest in peace, basically. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave a like on this video, too. I don't need no donations from you. Keep them donations to your damn self. Don't send me no damn donations. Blech, blech.